Alrighty, hello everybody and welcome back, So we are working on our sword and shield game. Let's see, in the last video we did a few things. We added some statistics to the shield. All I am doing is just showing a kind of visual, how we can visually reference more data that the player is receiving while they're playing the game. So the next step essentially would be, now we would want to publish the game. Hold on a second. What do I gotta save here? Let's see. We can save to Roblox. We can call this sword and shield. Description: sword and shield starter pack. Okay, so has weapon, armor, bots, damage blocks, and more. Alright, so we'll get rid of that. We'll make it for add console in there. Okay, and then we can save it. I think that's what we need to do there. We just save it like that. Because now what we need to do is we need to consider creating a data store for our game. So now it's going to close. It's going to restart. We need to consider creating a data store for our game. Okay? So, to do that, I suppose I could try and figure it out. To do that, we just need to create a script on the server, insert object, the script, and this is going to be our player added script. Alright, so we are going to say game.players.player added connect function. Now, in all the other ones, I make a leaderboard where the experience and all that stuff is. So in this one here, we're not going to. So what we can say is local stats equals, let's say instance.new, and it'll be a folder. Okay, we want to say stats.parent equals, let's see, equals player. So that's the folder. So now if I join the game, it should create a folder on the player called stats. Is that right? Oh, it's just called folder. Okay. So then we need to say, oh, I see, because that is, we have to call this player. Stats is a, there we go. Okay, we could even, instead of doing that, we could say this. We could say that. And that should be the same thing as it is. Okay, even easier to write. So then what we need to do is we need to say player stats. No, that's the folder. Yes, player stats dot name equals game stats. Alright, so then we press play, because we're going to have different folders for different stuff, right? There we go. So now it's called game stats. So simple as that. So now what we want to do in the game stats folder, we want, so we'll say local, we'll call this, let's say mana, because that's what we were working with the shield, equals, we'll say instance dot new, and this is going to be a number value, and it's going to be on the player stats. Okay, and then we can say mana dot name equals mana. All right, mana dot name equals mana. Oh, and then that has to be in quotes. Okay, now let's press play and let's see if. Yeah, there we go, and it's a number value. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so the next thing we also need is we need local stamina. Okay, so now we're setting up the player. We're setting up the player. Instance.new, and of course, same thing. It's going to be a number value, and it's going to be inside player stats. All right, and then we'll say stamina. Name equals stamina, just like that. Perfect. And now when we press play, there should be another. So you see there's a leaderboard there. Nice, mana, but it's not in here. These values aren't in there. I guess we need to create a cache as well. So we'll say local money equals instance dot new, same thing, number value, and it's going to be in player stats. And then we're going to say money dot name equals cash. Okay, and then we also want money, stamina, magic. That can work for now. That can work for now. We're gonna be adding player stats. So we could say, or not player stats. Let's say, so we could say local character stats equals instance dot new, and this is gonna be a folder, and this will be in the player. And we're going to say character stats dot name equals character stats. So what this one is going to hold in it is we are going to have the character. So we'll say local strength equals instance dot new. Oops. And these are all just their number values, right? And this is going to be inside character stats. And then we're going to say str.name equals strength. I know it's kind of backwards. In here it should be strength. Okay, so we'll just have a couple of stats. What do I want? Strength. Maybe we want endurance, which can determine our stamina and our health. And then maybe we want like wisdom, and that can determine our mana. Hey, that works. Okay, so we have strength, endurance, and then this is going to be inside character stats, and we're going to call this endurance. And the last one here, we will call it wisdom. Without the capital W. Wisdom, and then we will call this wisdom. There we go. So now when we press play and the player joins the game, we're going to have all these cool statistics. 2 folders. We have a character stat, endurance, strength, wisdom. So where we're going to tie this together is I'm going to be making an interface for the player, which shows all that stuff. Right? It'll be a button on the screen. You press it, it'll come out, and it'll have the character stats. So then, obviously, you've got it figured out that as you increase your strength, perhaps your combat power gets greater, the damage you deal becomes stronger. Blah blah blah. You resist more damage. Could be something like that. Same thing. We can do that with endurance. Obviously, it's going to be your stamina, and I'm hoping we'll be able to increase the player's health. I am going to try that. And then we have wisdom, obviously, which you increase that number, and that's going to give you more mana. So we also need experience, because that is how we are going to upgrade our stats. We need experience to upgrade our stats, and we need and we need other things, right? Money to buy better weapons and armor, and experience to upgrade everything else. Our level, oh, that's what we'll need as well, is a level. So let's see, LVL, name, LVL, perfect. Just like that. Now what we need to do is we need to create the P calls for each one of these numbers, so we can check to make sure we're saving and reloading. Also, we need to create a local to connect to the data store. So I think we need to say local data equals game get service data store service, and then I think we need let me look at this one here. This one I don't actually know completely. Let's see, did we do that in Shoot Things Alpha is published as well, right? Shoot Things Alpha. Where's my construction game? There it is. Oh, no, this one isn't. I don't think this one is it. Let's check this one. I think this one's connected. Yeah, so anyways, what I'm getting at now is that now you can start adding all the statistics that you want to the player, again, as they're going to use, right? So what we need to do is now we need to go to our player join the game, right? So we need the data store, and then we need the game data. Okay, so we say data store, and then local game data equals data store. What do we say the data store? Get data store, and then we need to name the data store. Data store. Get data store, and in this case, we're going to name it star. Sword and Shield. There. So that on the Roblox servers, our data for this game is going to be saved as Sword and Shield. Perfect. That's all we need. Now what we need is one P call that we're going to change around and manipulate. So we'll take one, and then I can explain this in detail, and we'll go over it. Okay, so we'll close that down. So what the P call is when the player joins the game. So let's see, it's just a function, and the function fires whenever we tell it to fire. See, it's part of this. So when the player joins the game, what it's going to do is it says get async, which means it's going to query the Roblox server under this name. It's going to search for our player ID, and then this value, which is saved as a number. And then what it's going to do is it's going to try and recall that number. So if we change the stats and we save it, it's going to get saved to the server. And then when we leave the game and we rejoin the game, it's going to recall that value, and here it is. So the last thing I did want to add here before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we also want to say local position. Position X. No. Position X. And then we want to say, yeah, we're going to change this. Position X equals instance dot new, and this is also going to be a number value, and this is going to be in the character stats. All right. Remember, we want to save where the player is on the map, so when they leave the game and they rejoin the game, they're back where they were in a dangerous dungeon, you know, somewhere, right? We want to be able to save that position, so that way, yeah, they don't always load in at the spawn point. They load in hopefully here. Hopefully we'll figure that out. So we should say position X dot name equals player X. Okay, and then we just need to do this for Y and Z. Perfect. And all this is going to have to be built into the game. We're going to have a couple other scripts that handle the data. But now we have a clear set of variables that we want, which I think is kind of the beginning of a character. The beginnings of a basic RPG. So now back to the P call. So what it's going to do is it has it succeeds and it fails. Okay, so if it succeeds, it's going to grab the value. If it fails, it's going to say, hey, there was an error with your data, meaning there's no value to grab. So why would it fail? Well, let's say, I don't know, for whatever reason, you lose connection with the server or something like that, and typically that's when it would fail. So in this case, if success, then we need to say mana mana.value equals data. Okay, so this could be data mana, which is probably an easy way of keeping track of it. Right, this is our first variable here. Okay, so now when I join the game, it's going to give me an error. First, it's going to say I need to publish the game. So let's publish the game. We need to go to game settings, and then we need to go to is it permissions? No, monetization, security. That's it. Allow HTTP. No, enable access to API. That's really all you need. You don't want third-party sales, and then if you want meshes, that's okay. I don't quite know exactly how that works. If that opens your game to exploiting, I don't think it does. Anyway, so simple as that. So now if I join the game, see, it gives me an error. Value of nil cannot be converted to a number. And all it's basically saying is that, look, you're asking me to load this value, mana, but we've never given it a value. So its value is nil. So once we give it a value, this will go away, and it'll just say leaderboard loaded. But instead of saying leaderboard loaded, it's going to say mana loaded. Just like that. There we go. So that's that variable. So we may as well, at this time, you can just copy and paste this. And we need to do it for each one of these. For each one, each number that we want to, so what do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because one of those was a folder. Alright. So 1, 2. Here, we'll separate these. Three. 4. 5. Okay, 6. And then we'll go through them individually. That way we know we've covered them all. Seven. This will be 8. 9. Alright, let's see if that's enough. Let's see if that's enough functions. So the next one is going to be, we need stamina, money, XP, and level. So this can be data, stamina, Now the only thing that we need to change here is nothing, because it's actually looking for this name, which is saved on the server, which is pretty cool. So, money, XP, and level. This one here is going to be data, money, data, money. Oh, and then we'll have to change that too. So, data, XP. Let's just finish this part here. Data, XP. Data XP, and then data level. Alright, so let's get this kind of going again. Now, we've got this. So this is stamina. So instead of mana.value, we need to say stamina.value. Is it the... I don't think it's the capital one. I think it's stamina.value. This one here is money.value. This one here is XP. It's EXP. And this one here is, what's the last one there? Level. Right, if it succeeds, it's going to take this value and cast it to this value. When we change the value, let's say we activate our shield and it reduces our mana level by 1, and it's going to save every time it does that. It's going to be the opposite. We're going to take this value and we're going to send it to the server. In this case, we're taking it from the server and giving it to the player. Okay, so that is that part. What was the other one? Was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I wonder if I have enough here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I should have enough. Okay. Strength, endurance, and wisdom. So strength, and this will be strength. Is that right? STR? Yes, STR. This will be endurance. Alright, and then END, endurance. And then I think it was wisdom. And then what's next? Position X, Y, and Z. So data position X. Data position X. Data position X. Position X. Data position Y. Data position Y. Data position Y. Position Y. Data position Z. Data position Z. Data position Z. And position Z. So now when we join the game, we're going to get a whole bunch of these errors. There we go. And it's just saying every single one of those values doesn't have a number. So now what we need to do is we need to say mana loaded. No, we need to say position Z. And this position X. Or this would be position Y. Position X. Alright, and then this one here will be wisdom. How long is it? Anyways. This one here will be endurance. This one here will be strength. And this one here will be level. And this is XP. And this is cash. Stamina. Holy moly. Okay, so there, as you can see, it's not really that easy. It does take a little bit, like this is where we kind of, it takes a little bit of setup, right? So you spend a few hours just to make this little bit of stuff. Then we spend a few hours developing more code, which helps us develop more into the workspace, right? So we need something to build on. And that's what we're doing right now, is we're building on this. Excellent. So now we need to set up, now we need to be able to give value to these values, so that way we can manipulate them and use them in the game. And then we'll have a neat little RPG. So, how are we going to do that? Well, kind of lost the plot. What we need to do now is in the starter GUI, we need to insert an object. We need a screen interface. We want to insert object frame. Alright, perfect. So now this frame here can be our player stats window. You can call this stats. Right, and then inside the window, maybe we'll have another window. I don't know, I'm not too sure how I kind of want this to sort of. But we'll have to figure that out. But inside this window, we're going to recall these values. So I guess I just need a bunch of text levels. So if I go insert object, and we want a UI list, just like that, and we want it to be alignment, we'll say center. We could say left. Okay. Now, if we insert a text label and we make that size like that, and then basically this frame here is going to be, we're not going to really be seeing it. And then of course each one of these labels, this is going to be our mana. So what we need to do, what I need to do, we want to change, let's see. So similar to how we have a charge on the shield, this could be our, I want to do a couple of things, right? I want to be able to have mana with the equipment, and then I also want the player to be able to cast some magic. I just think it would be cool. Maybe a fireball, a projectile of some kind. I think would be neat. Or do we want to do that? Does it really matter? Does it really matter? I suppose if we wanted to go that route with the magic, it could matter. Alternatively, we could also use it to recharge our weapons while we're away. Yeah, that's going to work. Okay, that's going to work. Perfect. Okay, so that is that, and then we are going to label it like that so we know. And then what do we want? Stamina. Let's see here. We'll duplicate this, and this one here is going to be stamina. And then we'll duplicate it, and this is going to be health. All right, so background color, where are we here? All right, now we can do the same thing with these as we did in here, where we scale them. Like this with the healing. We can do the exact same thing here, or it can just display the value. I think it's good if the value goes down. So in this case, we could do the same thing. We could do the same thing here with the update health. And we could do it for the other values. So let's copy this update health code that we have. Hopefully you have it now. And what we want to do in the, let's just try it first for the mana. So let's go insert object. Let's get a local script. Local script. So if it's a local script, what it has to do is it has to fire the server every time this value changes from the interface. And then it has to connect to a script on the server, which would then save the changing of the value for the player and update. Let's see. Yeah, because if we put it in a local script, here's the thing. If we put it in a local script, we can't connect the local script to a data save. But if we bind this interface to the player like we usually do, just leave it in replicated storage. Yeah, okay, so let's do that. So let's Let's focus on that. So what we need to do is we need to insert an object. We need an object value, and we're just going to call this cast. Okay, and then what we need in the, probably just in the replicated storage, we could insert an object, a remote event. And we're going to call this event player functions. Okay, and now what we need to do in our, so we'll get rid of that, in our player added script. When the player joins the game, we need to say local UI equals, here, let's copy that and replicate storage. We're just going to paste into, and then this is going to be our master interface. Okay, UI equals game get service, replicated storage, find first child, master UI. All right, and then what we're going to say is UI dot parent clone. UI. Is that right? Clone equals player dot player GUI. Or do we say let me check. Do I still have, I don't have it open. Let me check from, I wonder which game. Oh, maybe we do this here. UI.parent equals, maybe it's UI clone. There we go. There we go. And then we will say UI dot cast dot value equals game get service, replicated storage, find first child, and then player functions. There we go. Let's see if that works. Got some errors there. Okay, so do I have two? I have the master UI and the screen UI. Perfect. Okay, so now what we need to figure out is this will be it's on the player. So if we say script dot parent, let's see, it's on the player UI. So if we would say parent 2, 3, 4, and then we find the folder. Okay, so 4 parents. So we want to say 1, 2, 3, 4 dot this is our mana, right? So we want to say dot game stats dot game stats dot, and then what do we call it there? Just mana, I think it's the, yeah. Mana. Now let's see. Oh, I need to go one more. So now it's only giving me an error where I didn't change it. Now there's no error anymore from the screen interface. Okay, just errors from, okay, master UI. So we'll get rid of that. We'll put that into there. Perfect. Text label script apparent. Basically, script apparent. So we're just changing a few of these values just to try and get this whole thing to work just with the mana. Oh look, it worked. It worked. Now look at how huge it is. It's at 0%. Now, I don't know why it's so big. Oh, probably because... Does it define the size of it? Let's see here. Now the issue is when we load in, see the size of the mana? And it's like it's ignoring the, which it shouldn't be doing. If it ignores the GUI inset, it's the same thing. All right. Something tells me similar to the other one. I just have to design this a little bit differently. Let's pull it out there, and then, yeah, you see how it's right on the edge, but you see how big this block is? So when we built this, the main health bar is the... Okay, I gotta take a look at this for a minute. Whew. It's one of the two. I know I just was just setting, well, I don't know why I bothered to open up this one here. We don't need this one here. It's just in the way, because it was set up on the shield. We just went through this yesterday with the shield. Let's see here. So we take the... Right, it needs to be within a frame within a frame. So... Okay, so we take the master interface and we put it back here, and then what we do is we'll get rid of the stamina. But this frame, and then it's got Okay, so we need the frame, and then we need the text label after. So this is the stats frame. So then we would need to insert a frame, insert object a frame, like that, and it needs to be taking this size, and it needs to be this size, and then inside that frame we need to do that, and we can call this mana, like so, and then here we need another parent because we buried it inside the frame, and then the main health bar can be like that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so it's at 0% and it's full. And that is because its maximum value is 10. So and it's sitting at 0, right? We can make that 100. Well, I better make sure that's the local script on. Yeah. Let me make sure we're doing this right. Text label is there. And that's that. That really is that. Only, I don't know why. See how it's full? This should kind of be at the bottom. The bottom, I don't know what I'm trying to say. 0% should be there. I don't know why it's not changing the size of the bar. Because on the shield, we did the same thing, right? That is green. Oh, the frame itself. Oh, I see. That is within the frame. So then that, okay. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Oh, I am not confused anymore. I am not confused anymore. In order to make that work, yes. Yes. So instead of this stats here, we would need to duplicate that. And then we could put this inside there and then this inside there. Aha. Aha. Maybe that is what. Now it's going to give me an error that you can't find the. All right, something's up, something's up, something's up. So then if I change the value, if we change it, because I have to change it on the server side. What is it, our mana? I looked in the wrong folder, I think. Game stats. Now it shows 100. Oh, you see the second. You see the second. You see that there? That's why we're having this issue. We're having this issue again. Do you see? One of them is when we press play, One of them is the full size of the window. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, game. See? Something's wrong here. Ah, so one is expanding, but not the other. So which one? It needs to be reversed. So the main health bar. It's this one here that's shrinking. Like I say, I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm confused. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All right, let's. Where are we at? Where are we at? There's some dead air. Let's just get this going. Let's see if I can figure this out, and then that's gonna be it for this video. So as you can see, we're now at the point where we can set up the character, setting up the stats. So this, it is this one here, but I don't know why it goes full size. Is it? I don't know why it goes full size. Let's find out which frame it is. Oh, it's that one. That's the one that shrinks. Script apparent dot parent. That's mana. Now let's try that. See how that. Oops. All right, so now that's working, but so the text label is supposed to be transparent. All right, so the text label is just the text label. This has to be see-through. There we go. And then this one here needs to be blue. Okay, because it shrinks against this one here, which is white. Ah, now that I've figured all of that out, it'll be really easy to set that up. Oh, now it gave me an error there. Mana is not a valid player of line 2. Player GUI stats. There we go. Now it's at 0%. Now if we change the mana level to 50. Ah, yes. There we go. It shows our player's stats. Okay, so that's sort of what we're going to be working on for the next couple of videos, is expanding on this. And then I can duplicate that. Yes, exactly. Except this is going to be called... Oh, look, I duplicated it and it... HP. And something happened. Something happened. What is going on? Oh, is there no text labeling? Weird. 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 Alright. Okay. So, put that into player GUI. We're going to duplicate this one. This one's going to be called health. Okay, and then of course our background color for this one is going to be red. And then, oh, this is going to be green actually. This is going to be green. This one here is going to be red. Okay, and then the value that it's going to grab for us, let's see. So we're going to query the player. So instead of game stats, how is this going to work now? Let's see. That gets us to the player. Let's. So let's see. Local name equals script parent to p4 5 6 dot name. So what we need to do for this one is the fuel needs to be name find first child. Let's see, game get service workspace find first child name. Find first child humanoid dot health. Now that should work. That should work. Or it'll give us an error that we can follow, that we can find. Oh, it gave me an error there. Let's say line 3. Find first child. Let's see, local equals name. I wonder if there's a way to I'm just thinking here, we need to get the player, like, So we can get the name of the player that way. But then we need to Can't put it in quotes. Let me see if we can get it to do that. Just find the player. Line 10. So it can find the player. Should we say maybe wait for child? No, it doesn't like that. So it's breaking here. It's breaking there. Do we need to go name.name maybe? I don't know. I'm not too sure. I'm kind of, at this point in time, just not too sure where to go from here. We need to find the player, and we need to get the health from the humanoids. So, let's see that. Oh, but I don't think we can do that from here. That's probably why. So, it's going to give me... Okay. That is the name of the player right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's this one here, 5. It's not parent. So I could say name dot name. So if we say game, get service, workspace, find first child, name dot name, find first child, humanoid dot health. That's attempt index nil with find first child. This here. Oh, we're back to this problem. What do we have to do here with this one here? With the sword, right? It was the sword. Had to get the player's name, and then we had to say the player's name dot value in order to find. But we do, I think, have the player's name. Okay, so let's try one thing then. Let's try one thing, because if it's failing here, it's gonna fail there anyways. Local line 10. I don't know if it's. Let's see. Did it go through that time? It did. Okay, and then it had an issue at line 10. So what we'll do is we'll say print name. Let's see if it does that. It did. Look, it printed the name of the player, so it is getting the name of the player. Okay, so we should be able to search the workspace for the name of the player. So now that we have the name of the player, so then we should say local player equals like that. Find first child, and then we want to say find first child humanoid. We want to say fuel equals player dot health dot value. But then it's saying attempt to index nil with find first child. So it's saying we can't search the workspace. Equals player equals player find first child humanoid, so we can say human. Let's try that. Line 4. What if we say wait for child? Wait for child. No, it's not going to let us connect the dots this way. So what we need to do, sadly, it's so frustrating. This one worked. This one worked. But we can't. I'm trying to find the player in the workspace, and I'm just trying to get the player's health. So we should go to the workspace, and we look for the player, and then we look for the humanoid, and then in there, there's the humanoid dot, where is it? Health there. Right there. Humanoid dot health. Oh, do I need to say humanoid? No. We could just say humanoid dot health. But it's not going to let me, it won't let me find the player this way. I can get the name of the player, and I can print the name of the player. Right there, I can print our name, but I can't then from here search the workspace with it. So maybe what we need to do is maybe, let's see, where are we at with this one? This one? Oof, an hour and 10 minutes. Okay, let's do something really quickly. Let's insert an object. Let's insert another string value. Okay, and then we're just going to call this player. And we are going to say that we're going to get rid of this, okay? And what we want it to do is we want to, since how we can get the name, we want to say script dot parent dot player dot value equals name. Yeah, there we go. Equals name. But then this local for fuel has to be contained within the function, and that's fine. Oh, is that what it is? Name.gamestats.health. Let's see if that's if that AI suggestion is. It says unable to assign line 11. There we go. Health is not a valid member of folder game stats. Where's that? Oh, nice. Okay, now we're making some progress here. No, we want to say see if that works, or if it's just going to give me an error on. Humanoid.health. So, I mean, this is it, right? This is what we're doing. We're just kind of playing around, and then instead of fuel, oh, I see, because it's contained in there. So now we've broken the. That's why this has to be outside of there. So, yeah, I see. That's the problem. That is the whole issue here. That is the problem here. All right, well, let's forget about this for now. I'll rethink it, and we'll put it. That'll be part 5. We're just going to be carrying on trying to get these statistics to work in the interface. Right now, obviously, I'm having a little bit of brain issues here trying to get it. But as you can see, what I'm trying to do is just scale it. We're trying to scale each stat, so that way, as the player increases it, they can see that they're making progress. So thank you so much for watching part 5. That's going to do it. And I'll see you all hopefully in part 6. Bye for now.